Right, that's wild because here it's like literally 4 or 5 months of the year straight winter. Then we get like a month of spring. Then it's like June rainy season for like a month. Then it's like fire season. Then everything falls and then it's frozen again.
Yeah.
Well, we get the fire season all right.
We barely have time to say hi and then it's frozen again.
Yeah.
Right, very very short growing season to say the least, where you got all year round down in California. If it's not on
Oh
fire, you get rain.
yeah. You guys would be taking those big what do they call it? The metal containers and converting them, insulating them, and building your room in there. Go vertical with it. You know what I mean? You pull them out like they're shelves, right? You just grab one and you pull it out. You look at all the plants. You put the shit back in there.
Oh yeah, right. For like agriculture, doing the hydroponic stuff. They had
Yeah, all that stuff.
greenhouses here because it's crazy. Actually, that's something I really do want to get into. Trying to do this summer is build another one, but there are lots now that things are thawing and we can actually go outside again and work outside again. I'm gonna be trying to do maybe every Saturday, like working, trying to take apart a couple microwaves and some motors and stuff to get the coils and do some coil building workshops. If you
Nice.
guys are down for it or something. And then also want to launch the first episode of the Burn Conference, the Breakthrough Energy Research Network online conference, and would love to have all of you guys there for the founding episode for sure.
Nice. I appreciate that.
And vice versa. Great work that you do.
Sounds good. Nice. When is that going? When is that going down?
We will aim for April. April. Hey, Jeremiah.
Yeah, Jeremiah's in the chat.
Absolutely. Gotta have Jeremiah on as well. Mike, how are your batteries doing these days? Are you able to talk about that? It's good, sir. Oh, you're muted, Mike.
He's on mute.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm under NDA. I can't talk about that stuff, especially what's on the inside. Concepts and ideas, but as far as what I'm actually doing inside, I can't talk about it.
Fair enough.
2-year NDA.
All right, so you heard that all here first. 2 years, so it'll be season 2.5 of the Burn Conference, where we will have Mike talking about his batteries. But until then,
well, 2 years, you got to minus the time he's already had.
Yeah.
Oh, so 1.5 years, right? So the end of season 2. Dun, dun, dun.
There you go.
Yeah, well, let's just say I'm working with a lot of graphene right now, so.
Yeah, please do tell what you can, because.
Yeah, here, hold on a sec.
Right, just gotta poke and prod, and then we get as much as we can.
So I'm doing ultrasonic exfoliation. So I'm actually creating my own graphene. So I get my new ultrasonic cleaner on Sunday. So I like to hit this for about 48 hours. So you use 75% isopropyl alcohol or acetone, and then 25% water. And then you stir it up, put it in the ultrasonic cleaner, and just zap it for about 48 hours.
Nice.
And you get a very high grade of graphene. So I've done some tests with it. I'm getting excellent results. Energy density is like really, really high. So
appreciate the update with that.
Yeah, all you need is any kind of carbon source. It could be charcoal, it could be lead from the pencils, activated carbon you could use. I'm using a high-grade carbon graphite 600 mesh, so it's a very fine powder, and that's what I'm doing for my experiments, and I'm getting excellent results. Really good.
Nice.
So the reason why So for a bonding, if you want to just like put it on surfaces and let it bond, you can use like a Varsol or a shellac for finishing tables. Just a couple drops in it. Doesn't take much. And then stir it up really good, and it'll adhere to surfaces really good and dry, and still have the connectivity that you need. So I'm trying to get mine down to about 10 ohms resistance. When I get it to 10 ohms, then yeah, I've got a good product. So
Nice.
Appreciate that.
So
I myself am going to try what Mike said there, with maybe some charcoal to try making a little bit of graphene, as I do have some experiments I've been wanting to do
Yeah.
with graphene for a while.
yeah, so heat it up really, really, really hot. So you got the charcoal like glowing hot. And what you do is you throw it into a bucket of cold water. Boom, you get your carbon. So that's what you want to do. Yep.
Awesome.
so how long does it take to create the graphene again?
To get a decent result, 24 hours. But if you want to get a really good result, 48 to 72 hours.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you
It's not weeks, it's just days.
yeah, it's a bit of a long process, but it does work, and it does work really well.
Yeah. Okay, I understand now. I got an idea.
Yeah.
You see the light over his head, Bernie? Like, go back for a
Right?
minute.
Like,
Yeah,
I just had to come in and prod a little bit now. Look at that, right? Boom. The ant.
It's the
Oh,
false. It's the false, Luke. It's the false.
you gotta get me a light to put over my head. That's awesome.
I had that angel halo all of a sudden from
Yeah.
the old paintings.
That big light bulb that appears.
The light bulb went off, right? Anytime you have the idea, you just gotta put your head down. And the light
That's
goes
right.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of ways. A lot of ways to make graphene. It's just a matter of what way you want to do it. You can do the electrolysis or the ultrasonic exfoliation. I like the electronic one because you're not really using like crazy chemicals, and it's not a dangerous process where it's going to cause a fire or anything like that. So
Right? Like it's something you kind of want to do more outside, well ventilated area.
yeah, like that's why I'm using the isopropyl alcohol. It will evaporate, so you can always control your concentration levels of it. I even seen guys using a certain brand of dish soap and then throw it into a blender, of all things, and then just put it in a blender for like an hour, and they're getting graphene, right? So you get graphene or graphene oxide. But I like this ultrasonic method. It's pretty idiot proof. So
Yeah, and it's like you said, the less chemicals, the better. That's also why I like my electrolysis method with the monoatomics as a point, like where it's just salt water and electricity, as opposed to dealing with all the acids and washing and different reactions, byproducts that come out of it.
Well, what I like about the acetone or the isopropyl alcohol, eventually that evaporates, so all you're left with is the graphene in the water.
For sure,
So,
but isopropanol very flammable in a gas state as well, where it's like
Sure.
got to make sure it is in a well ventilated area.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that stuff stinks, man.
Yeah, the acetone I think is worse than the isopropyl.
Oh yeah, acetone. Oh, right, like all of the chemicals.
Isopropyl, I don't really notice it too much. You have to put your nose right up to it, but the acetone, that stinks. It's like turpentine.
Wow. I smell that stuff from across the garage, man.
Yeah, it's pungent. Yeah, definitely.
Not as bad as that muriatic acid we used to clean the floors with, man, in the big shop I had. You go in there, you have to ventilate everything, fans everywhere, stuff gets in your lungs. It's horrible.
Yeah, got a good chat going on.
Agreed.
So
I
yeah, I'll
gotta
be
get
working
back
on
into
that.
the gym.
Yeah, I've been like really focusing on the graphene, and that really helps the charge density of a power cell. So, and supercapacitors. Actually, Laser Saber did a really good supercapacitor. He was getting quite a bit of current coming off it. So he would get a sheet of aluminum. You put his layer of graphene on it, and while it's still wet, you'll get um, activated carbon. Put it in the blender to get it really fine, and then sprinkle it over top of that sheet with the graphene on it, and let it set. And then he would put a separator, or sorry, some sulfuric acid or whatever it was, and then a separator, and then another plate on top with the same process done and sandwiched together. And there you go, you got a super cap. So he made big ones. He made ones that I think were like 10 inches diameter. Oh yeah, they're running motors for well over an hour. So
Nice.
Yeah, I wanna. My intent and purpose for making some and applying it to my experiments is the aspect of the LENR and developing it and getting that high density on the electrodes, and the ability.
use carbon electrodes. Buy the carbon rods off of Amazon, and those are great for electrolysis. So you can attach anything to the carbon rods, and they make a great anode material, anode and cathode.
Yeah, good call, right? And because from a lot of the reading I've been doing lately, and a lot of the recent publishings, that is how you're able to get a lot of the hydrogen isotopes to form in high density, which is a key part of the nuclear fusion aspect of it, if you know what I'm saying.
Have you, Bernie? Have you done any like electroplating, anodizing?
Yeah. So that's one form that I've discovered how to do, is that once you get the water fully saturated with the metal that you're putting in as the anode and creating, and it's dissolving, once it becomes super saturated, it then both will precipitate as both the monoatomic state and then eventually the oxides, but also as the metal itself, as this thin crystal sheet, like super metal layer on the glass it forms and condensates on. And it also, I found there's different forms it does of different nano layering crystals on additional electrodes that I put in and have in the water while super saturating it with the specific metals that I have dissolving in.
Hey, Bernie, do you put a special frequency in there when you break these things down, or just run it as electricity?
I need to be. That's a major part of the next steps, and like the efficiency of it and the abilities of actually getting the specific low energy nuclear reactions and stuff on a mass scale with it. And I'm trying to figure out, because a lot of the micro USBs that I use actually have like also audio cable going in, back in too, right? So I've just got to figure out what program to start using to be able to actually program it.
Yeah,
and that's going to be a major part of what I put in, and then also having them as coils with that frequency going in too.
Yeah, if you're going to do the audio route, all you got to do is find a free download of a function generator, and you could actually create your own frequencies and just put it through the jacks into the board, and from the board to your electrolysis, and then you'll actually have that frequency. So you could start doing electrolysis using 528 hertz or 432,
Yes.
784.
So I've
so-
actually seen a couple videos, and it was saved to my original YouTube channel. And for the life of me, I have searched for like literally days and cannot find it. The video is any longer on YouTube, but of one guy doing it, and it literally was triggering the luminescence within the monoatomics. They'd form into plasmid clusters, and in the middle there would be light forming in it.
Exactly.
Oh,
And
it's nice.
putting the frequency through it. So it's like I've been wanting to do that for so long, need to do it, and it is the next step that I will
Yeah.
do it.
So you would hook that up to, well, I don't know offhand, either hook up the crystal to the cathode and then have something else on the anode side.
Yeah.
Probably. And
Well,
you're
because
gonna
there's left-right speaker, like left-right wires, so essentially I could do left to one and right to the other.
right.
And so here I finally figured out why my structured water is going in these triple frequencies of self-organization into the fields. And it's because it was water that I was using these the triple solenoid coils that I was putting in, right? So it's a coil with a wire within a wire within a wire, triple solenoid, and thus that is why you see the three fields formed, that it's literally structuring those three fields of a field within a field within a field into that water. So it'll be very interesting to see then what the frequencies I then start pumping into these reactions and their cymatic geometries, and if that starts forming and freezing in the ice cubes instead of the triple field, right?
It's like a fingerprint.
Exactly, right? And that it shows, and like this water I've rinsed like 100 times over since the original saltwater reaction, like with fresh water that I've then using as ice cubes, consuming, and that it's still maintaining this shape and this structure within the bubbles every time that I freeze it and turn it into these ice cubes. So it's like it's imprinted, I guess, within the monoatomics that form.
Really? So
when I made it.
you can turn this into water and then refreeze it, and it'll still have that wave pattern.
Yeah, like this ice, like
That's
it's
insane.
so like here you
Wow.
can see in the jar that I have, or the bottle here, that here's the purple gold monoatomic part. There's like the amount of water that's left, and then I keep refilling it. And that I always rinse it 9 times before to get all the salt out and any of the other chemical products in it, that it's just the monoatomics that then absorb back into the water, creating that ionic gold, ionic silver water that I then am using in the agricultural experiments, and that I myself have been guinea pigging myself on. Don't try it at home. Don't ever use the blue, because that's how you turn into a Smurf and die of heavy metal poisoning, or any of the other colors. Yeah, it's like lots of people have died, so don't try it if you don't know what you're doing.
Guys, I'm just going to go out for a quick smoke. I'll be right back.
For sure.
So, Bernie, are you structuring the water with the electricity then?
Yeah, that's what I guess I'm saying it is happening, right? Because I'm using these triple solenoid magrav coils as the cathode a lot of time when I'm making these, and that it seems that that's what is then being imprinted into this water when it freezes, with how it structures these exclusion zones and the bubbles.
Because
And
sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying. I was gonna say, and you said like by using a specific frequency, you can imprint or program for a specific application.
Yeah, exactly. So then it's like I'm sure that the cymatic frequencies, like the specific geometries, all those different sacred geometries that you see of the different solfeggio frequencies and other notes, that I'm postulating or predicting that the cymatic geometry of the frequency that I put into the electrolysis reaction while making the monoatomic or doing the electrolysis imprints into the structure then of that water, and that is the geometry and shape that should then be frozen afterwards, potentially. And the key part of why you put the specific frequencies in, and what I also predict, and is that if you put in the resonant frequencies of the specific metal elements that you are using in the reaction as the anode and cathode, and that when you have the anode, it gets into this red and then pink crystalline state that Isaac Newton speaks of and says that one metal can be transmutated into another element, that when you put in the resonant frequency of the next metal that you want it to transmute into, and if you have it, so for gold you would use is it tungsten that's one off, I believe, and that then when you get it into that pink state and put in the resonant frequency of gold, the hydrogen that is forming off of the atomic hydrogen specifically that's forming off of the electrolysis reaction will then be able to like bond in with that metal when it's in that state. And that these metals, like when they're in these transmutational states, when it's in like the blue, the green, and the red states, they're actually like jellified. So it's like that it's in this cool liquid state that the oxygen or the hydrogen can easily absorb into, and that it's then that resonant frequency, the cymatic resonant frequency structure of that next pure element up that you want it to take shape into, that it will then recrystallize and solidify that element into with the atomic fusion that happens in it, essentially.
So hold on.
Makes sense.
There's a Oriental gentleman that did frequency and water.
Yes, Maximoto, I believe.
Yes. So when you're making snowflakes and stuff like that, when you put the geometry in there, that's what you're going to start to get in there. Instead of just the coil waves, you'll start to get the shapes of like snowflakes and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like structuring water, the fourth state of water or whatever they call it. When you structure it,
Yes,
and
sir.
then you put the
fractals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you got some cool stuff going on there with that. I would watch his stuff, man, and try to figure that out.
I've looked a lot into Maximoto's work, but yes, I do need to go deeper into it. We should do a series together on it, old man.
Yeah. Well, the fractal geometry is awesome, man. When you can start putting the fractions together to build it, and then you can start building more than one frequency, and depending on the structure you're looking for, 5 frequencies, 6 frequencies, so to build it just like a crystal, and then you can really get the shape in there for the snowflake that you're looking for, or if you're looking for that.
Yeah, it's the specific crystal geometry, the shape of the metal element, right? Because they're on the different octave scales, as Walter Russell shows, and that it's when you're putting that right harmonic, that right frequency, and it like shifts it over, but it's each one is on a different geometric crystal density along the lines of the platonic solids, where your first is 3, your second like the 4, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th sort of thing, and that it's like it goes up and down into it, and that by putting that right harmonic frequency into the metal while it's in this gel-like state in the electrolysis in the water, that it's able, by putting that frequency in, it triggers the crystallization, the solidification, where you're getting the phase shift back into the solid state without using or needing this mass energy transfer.
I would like
Yeah.
to see like maybe, I know microscopes are a little expensive, but maybe like a magnifying glass if you can get like a big one and then put the ice underneath like a light so we can kind of get like
Yeah.
a close-up look of it.
Absolutely. And
Hey,
so what I have on right here, just while it's still up there, that's these triple solenoid copper coils, and that's sealed, suspended in a jar at room temperature, where they're in this pink red state, suspended, active for like about 8 years now that it's in this, and it's like, so it's this potential hot or like energy active state of metal, and that I predict that it's probably a hydride compound or hydrate, like where it's more hydrogen uh, like bond sort of with the metal that forms, as opposed to the blue oxides that also happen in
Oh, is
the
that what's
blue
at the top? The
state.
blue stuff?
Yeah,
It's
the
a
blue
pretty
and the
color.
green is there's the blue and the green oxides. So it's like probably one, and then the green's probably 2 or 3, or might be an oxide and hydride. It's like that's why I need to get all of these tested, but it's that I've in with every metal that I use with the pure metal elements, both as anode and cathode when doing it, that I get them into these same colored states and suspended in them indefinitely. All right, Mr. Mike, what you showing us, sir?
Ooh.
Oh, and you're muted, Mike.
Sorry about that. This is the Hutchison crystal power cell. Here, I'll just shut the light off so you can kind of see the light here.
Yeah, I love this thing.
So instead of using, he was using the copper cups, I decided to buy the ingot graphite molds that you use for like doing like pouring silver and gold and stuff. So I took that and I put the alum with the magnesium, and you got the anode and cathode. The anode is the graphite, and the cathode is where the magnesium is. And all you have to do is just put water in it, and you got power. So this is putting out about 2.85 volts.
Just add water.
Yep, just add water. So I put water in this 2 days ago, and it's still going.
Nice.
Nice.
Really? Powering for 2 days?
Yep. You just add, deionized water or filtered water in it, and just saturate the alum. So I've wrapped the alum in a paper towel. That's the separator between the alum and the anode. And you wrap it up and close it up and just pour your water on top. It'll take about 2 days for the crystal structure to form, but after it forms, you'll get maximum power out of it. And then all you have to do is just wet it every couple of days, and you got power. And you could line these up.
Could you wrap it with like a saran wrap or something like that to prevent the water from evaporating, or does the water need to evaporate as part of the reaction?
Yeah, the water is part of the. See, when the crystal forms, the water creates the conduit, the connection to make the ionic flow from the magnesium to the anode. All right. So that crystal structure has to get formed. So initially, when you start it up, you might not get great values out of it, but let it saturate it really, really good, Just let it sit for a couple of days. That crystal is now going to form. And after it forms and creates that structure, then you just add water to it and boom, you get great power out of it. I actually got more power 2 days later. So
This would be a great idea for like people who are looking into renewable energy, who want just a battery, and they're like, say they're doing permaculture or something, just want a battery that kind of revives itself with the rain or something, you know?
yeah,
Or
exactly.
off
So you can
grid survival, anything,
Yep.
right? Or
Yeah.
just put them outside, run your lights outside, have about 5 or 10 of these hooked up in series, and you can power quite a few of these lights.
Can you attach a light to it and see how long it's gonna last?
Well, this has been going for 2 days since I last put water on it. So, mind you,
Oh,
it's-
okay. So it's a little. I didn't see there's a LED light there.
yeah, I got the
Yeah.
LED light. So, if you get like say 4 or 5 of these lined up in series, yeah, you could run quite a few of these LEDs.
Okay.
And even like the morning dew in the morning, that's enough moisture to saturate these and get it running again. If it rains outside, boom, even more power.
Cool. It's a rain potential.
Yeah, you can bury
Rain
these in the
battery.
ground. You could bury these could be like earth batteries. Just bury them in the ground. And just the
Cool.
natural moisture from the ground will keep them running.
Nice. But it never rains in California, so Nathan is gonna.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
I guess you got to be by the ocean or the morning mist. The morning mist.
I'll give it some morning mist.
Yeah, I'm sure you would.
Yeah, all you guys with your potty thoughts in the live chat.
Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I wonder what beer would do.
Yeah. Yeah,
guess
one
there's only
drop
one
for
way to
you, the
find
rest
out.
for me.
Beer give it power it stronger, or does it eat it away and bake it less? Right? Yeah, that's science. You're gonna have to try.
Well, that's the beauty of using the alum. The alum protects the magnesium. That's what Bendini found out. Experimenting, use alum, and your magnesium will last for a very, very long time.
That's cool.
Longevity is what it's about, right? You don't want to have to keep remaking it because it's eroded and corroded.
Yep.
I also know it's possible to create a current with a different in temperature.
Yep. Yep. That's thermoelectric conversion.
Yeah.
So I've been looking into that extensively.
Because in Canada, it's pretty during the winter. It's pretty cold on the surface, but if you go deeper, it's much warmer. So there's a huge difference in energy, in temperature there. We could definitely harness that. Tell Trudeau to make a move before he leaves.
Yeah, it costs you a ton of money in Canada to get thermal put in your house, dig all the holes and stuff.
Yeah.
Pretty
Here we go. The
expensive.
holes again.
It was just, I wasn't going there, man. I was,
You're unconsciously going there.
yeah, I was thinking Mike Holmes, not John Holmes. Yeah.
So yeah, these you can pick up these graphite ingot molds on Amazon. I think you could get 3 for, I think it's $36 for 3 of them. So you could start with that. I like to get a few more of these and just hook them up all in series. Just amplify the power.
Absolutely. I want to try to get some sort of like light, all my LED like Christmas lights and stuff outside hooked up and working
This
by
would be
something by the
perfect.
end of the summer.
This would be perfect. And you pick up alum at the bulk bar. And yeah, it's like $10 a pound or something like that.
Very nice. the alkaline earth metals that are the expensive, hard to get ones that I need some of, apparently, to further the fusion side of my experiments.
Yeah. I've been working with a lot of the reactive metals, so you got to be careful, especially if you're want to experiment with potassium. It's highly reactive, actually
Yes.
explosive. So, yeah, that's something you got to be careful with.
With the sodium, potassium, is that?
Oh God, yeah, we're
Yeah.
talking.
Yeah.
We're talking boom. Oh yeah, I saw what was it? Some guy on YouTube. He grabbed. Oh yeah, he had a block of sodium, and he decided to throw it across the river, like you know how you skip rocks across the water.
Yeah.
He threw the damn thing. I should try to find the video. It's hilarious. It's like a size of a hockey puck, right?
Yeah.
Skips it across the water. Goes boom, boom, boom.
Oh,
Bomb.
Nice.
And then it blows in the air and comes back down again, hits the water, and then explodes one more time. Oh,
Nice.
man. It was wild.
It's like a grenade that blows twice, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like C4, man.
Yeah.
and
Nice.
just potassium on water.
Potassium or sodium. Sodium, I think it was that he used. Yeah, pure
Huh.
sodium. Yeah, highly, highly reactive. Creates a lot of heat. So, like
Wow.
the key, the big hurdle with a lot of the battery technology right now, what kills the battery is the dendrite growth. So, if you start using reactive materials like potassium or not so much magnesium, but potassium, sodium, cesium, all those guys there, they'll create heat, and it will start burning into your sacrificial cathode, and that's when you get the dendrite growth. And eventually, if the dendrites get big enough, they'll short the battery out and kills the battery. So, yeah, you have to be very careful in the balances of elements that you're using. So, like the last basically 8 months, I've been experimenting with pretty much every element I could think of. And some have good effects, some have detrimental effects, is how you use it, right? And the dendrite growth, definitely an issue that you have to overcome. So that's all part of the R&D I've been doing.
Very nice.
Crash
Nice.
course in brain surgery.
Yeah. Mike Faraday 101.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you guys want to continue, or you want to call it a night, or how's everybody doing?
I'm probably gonna call it a night myself. You guys can continue if you want. I gotta get up early in the morning.
Unless you have a gamma ray lasers, we'll continue. Otherwise, I'll call it a night.
Yeah. Well, we did a good stream. We went overtime tonight. That's cool. We had a really good live chat tonight. Thanks a lot, chat. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the channel, as well as Bernie's. I also have a members. If you haven't become a member, you can also become a member of the YouTube channel, and also Bernie as well. Yeah, I got pushing 500 videos on my channel, plus all the live shows that we've been doing the last couple of years. I started off with Bernie, and he's on again tonight. It's been a while since we actually did a show together, so that was
Much
good.
love, Mike. Thanks for having me, and I'll try to make it on time for next Friday. As been doing an awesome job, consistent every Friday, and got to hop on with all you guys more.
And I should have the 0 Point Energy Part 2 video out by next Friday, along with the Part 2 guide for everybody to follow along how to, replicate my experiments to the T.
Nice.
Yeah, now work on that new LC circuit.
Hello, Nathan.
Don't forget old man Bill. Nathan.
Like,
Okay.
hello. You didn't even need 3D glasses for that one.
Always gotta have fun, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Indeed.
So-
I look forward to your next Star Trek episode, good sir.
Oh my god, dude. Okay, I gotta tell you this story. We're talking about organites, right? And how to build them in layers and stuff, right? And Joe and I were screwing around like a month ago talking about it. And before we met this guy, 8 Center, and we were laughing, calling it like a butt plug, for the rich. They can just shove it up their ass and they'd have it, right? So then he comes on and he's doing this cast with us. And then Joe and I are laughing at each other going, oh man, they stole our idea, right? And then just out of the blue, dude, got totally serious. He goes, you mean the butt plug? And then it was like a whole fucking 10 minutes of a butt plug story, dude. It was fucking hilarious. I should send it to you, man. It is absolutely off the chain, man. And yeah, they just have you rolling. It's like a Star Trek episode in itself, dude. Organite butt plugs that you fucking put in to energize your ass.
It's all fun and games until you accidentally pick one up.
You got plasmoids in your butt.
So, if you ever have an OnlyFans account, it's going to be Old Man Builds Organite Butt Plugs.
Oh my
Yeah,
god,
you guys
dude.
are funny.
You're good. Love you guys.
I tell you, man, sometimes the conversation just goes off the rails. I mean, look,
It
I can
goes off the
only
rails
keep a
already.
straight face for so long, okay? It was like we're rolling on 3 hours and they just started fucking busting out butt plug jokes, dude, and I just couldn't help it.
It usually always happens at the end of the stream, too.
Oh, yeah. You let
So
your
the-
guard down.
Like today. Always.
So don't no wonder if your channel is blocked tomorrow.
Well, we did showing prototype, so I think we're okay.
It's powered by a crystal power cell.
You can't leave well enough alone, man. I made a little butt plug guy at the end of the video too. You gotta roll with it, man.
532 right through my butt.
I promise the first 2 hours is great and educational.
Yeah.
And then it slowly degrades.
Dude, I can tell you this right now, okay? As funny as it was, dude, I put it on my members channel, and they had all the jokes in the world to tell you about the fucking butt plugs, dude. They stay away from that end of it. They fucking watch out for that. Don't come near me. Don't bend over in front of me. All kinds of different jokes, dude. Yeah. They said you don't even need the vibrator part of it. It works on its own.
Well, that's the magic, right? That's the free
It's-
energy.
It's self-oscillating.
There's your free energy device right there.
What did
Resonating your asshole.
What did you guys just say?
Like Beavis and Butthead.
Oh God. Oh man. I did
Oh.
not expect this.
Oh, you never
You
expect it, Mike,
actually
but you know
dug
it's
the
coming.
hole, Mike. You were the one that brought. You're like, oh, it can't be going, and you dug the hole by saying the holes were going down.
Oh, you
and
did.
down here.
I
Yeah,
dropped
you
the C4. Anyways,
Oh,
guys.
man.
Anyways, chat, thanks a lot. We'll call it quits for tonight. We go live to air again next Friday night at 9 o'clock Eastern. Bernie, Philip, Nathan, Ben, thanks a lot for joining us. And
Thanks,
don't
everybody.
Don't forget
Hi,
to
guys.
check
Have a
out,
great night.
check out everybody's channel. Subscribe to their channel. Become a member. Would be greatly appreciated. Help support our channels. And we'll see everybody next week. Take care.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.